Drive back to my house because there's only one bridge in my neighborhood. We were quiet except for my occasional directions, and when we at last pulled into my driveway, I asked for Davis's phone and typed my number into it. Daisy got out without saying goodbye, and I was about to do the same, but when I gave him his phone back, Davis took my right hand and turned it over, palm up. "I remember this," he said, and I followed his eyes down to the Band-Aid covering my fingertip. I pulled my hand away and closed my fingers into a fist. "Does it hurt?" he asked. For some reason, I wanted to tell him the truth. Whether it hurts is kind of irrelevant. "That's a pretty good life motto," he said. "Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I should go." Right before I closed the door, he said, "It's good to see you, Asa." "Yeah," I said. "You too." When I got home, I watched TV with Mom, but I couldn't stop thinking about Davis looking down at my finger, holding my hand in his. I have these thoughts that Dr. Karen Singh calls intrusives, but the first time she said it, I heard invasives, which I like better because, like invasive weeds or something, these thoughts seem to arrive at my biosphere from some faraway land, and then they spread out of control. I guess everyone has them, like you look out from over a bridge or whatever, and it occurs to you out of nowhere that you could just jump. And then if you're like most people, you think, well, that was weird, and you move on with your life. But for some people, the invasive can kind of take over, crowding out all the other thoughts until it's the only one you're able to have, the thought you're perpetually either thinking or distracting yourself from. You're watching TV with your mom, this show about time-traveling crime solvers, and you remember a boy holding your hand, looking at your finger, and then a thought occurs to you. You should unwrap that Band-Aid and check to see if there's an infection. You don't actually want to do this, it's just an invasive. Everyone has them, but you can't shut yours up. Since you've had a reasonable amount of cognitive behavioral therapy, you tell yourself, I am not my thoughts, even though deep down you're not exactly sure what that makes you. Then you tell yourself to click a little X in the top corner of the thought to make it go away, and maybe it does for a moment. You're back in your house on the couch next to your mom, and then your brain says, well, but wait, what if the finger's infected? Why not just check? The cafeteria wasn't exactly the most sanitary place to reopen that wound, and then you were in the river. Now you're nervous because you've previously attended this exact rodeo on thousands of occasions, and also because you want to choose the thoughts that are called yours. But the river was filthy. Had you gotten some river water on your hand, it wouldn't take much time to unwrap that Band-Aid. You tell yourself that you were careful not to touch the water, but then yourself replies, but what if you touched something that touched the water? And then you tell yourself that the wound is almost certainly not infected, but the distance you've created with that almost gets filled by the thought. You need to check for infection, just check it so we can calm down. And then fine, okay. You excuse yourself to the bathroom and slip off the Band-Aid to discover that there isn't blood, but there might be a bit of moisture on the bandage pad. You hold the Band-Aid up to the yellow light in the bathroom, and yes, that definitely looks like moisture. Of course, it could be sweat, but it also might be water from the river, or worse still, seropurulent drainage, a sure sign of infection. So you find the hand sanitizer in the medicine cabinet, and you squeeze some onto your fingertip, which burns like hell. And then you wash your hands thoroughly, singing your ABCs while you do to make sure you've scrubbed for the full 20 seconds recommended by the Centers for Disease Control. And then you carefully dry your hands with a towel, and then you dig your thumbnail all the way into the crack in the callus until it starts bleeding, and you squeeze the blood dry. You squeeze the blood out for as long as it comes, and then you blot the wound dry with a tissue. You take a Band-Aid from inside your jeans pocket, where there is never a shortage of them, and you carefully reapply the bandage. You return to the couch to watch TV, and for a few or many minutes, you feel the shivering jolt of the tension easing, the relief of giving in to the lesser angels of your nature. And then 2 or 5 or 600 minutes pass before you start to wonder, wait, did I get all the pus out? Was there pus even, or was that only sweat? If it was pus, you might need to drain the wound again. And the spiral tightens like that forever. Thank you.